Have you ever wondered why you feel that life is hard and why so many people make their lives even harder than they actually are? So, why do we feel that life is hard and how can we overcome this belief? So, first of all, I feel that we were conditioned to believe that life is hard. So, it's not our nature, it's not our inherent state that we believe that life is hard. It's what we learned throughout this life and how we were grown up, how we were conditioned. And I know that from my family so much that they believed actually that life is hard. And they told me several times, like when there was a problem, when I shared with them what was going on, they told me, life is hard and life is a battle and you have to keep fighting. And that's literally their mentality. So around me, the people that raised me, they believed that life is hard and they believed that life is a battle. And so they created this reality because that's what they believed. We always create what we believe is true. And they believe that this is the truth. And based on their history, based from what my ancestors experienced, they shared and they give this belief further to the next generation and to the next generation. And so even though we might not have, and we do not have, the same conditions as our ancestors had, who experienced war and who experienced so many horrific things and situations in their life, we are in a completely different state, but we still believe that. And we were conditioned to believe that. So many of us were conditioned to believe that life is hard and that life is actually throwing at us situations, circumstances that want to pull us down, that want to test us, that want to, just weigh us down. And we have to be strong, we have to be the warrior, and we have to keep fighting. And so we created this belief that life is actually a battle, a battlefield where you are fighting against. You are actually fighting against life. And for many years, and still I can identify this belief within me. Sometimes it arises still within me, that belief that I have to force myself to do things and I have to just push through and to make it happen, and all of this fighter mentality that sometimes a part of me um, is just there and wants me to look at it. And as soon as I look at this belief, I know it's just inner part of me, an inner child that still carries this belief and that just wants me to be there, that wants my attention, that wants actually joy and ease. Because that's what we all long for at the end. We all long for ease and joy. And we don't want to experience life as a battle. We don't want to fight against life. And so, why do we feel it? It's because at some point we were conditioned to believe that and we accepted this truth. So, for example, if your grandma, like mine, for example, was born in World War II and they had so harsh like circumstances and situation, and her father had to go to the war in Germany and her mother was just alone with her and they barely had food, no money. It was just very, very harsh conditions. And so she was born into this situation and a lot of poverty and lack she experienced. And she just accepted this truth that already her mother had. Life is hard. So she passed this belief on to her children, to the next generation, and then their generation passed it on to me, and so on. So we are now in a complete new reality. And I feel that's the first thing we need to accept, to overcome this belief. So we are in a complete new reality right now. We don't live in a war like most of us, thankfully, don't live in war. We have so much wealth like never before on this earth, on this planet. So we live in this new reality, and we can choose what we want to believe. So you can choose what you want to believe. Do you want to believe that life is hard? Do you want to believe that life is a battle and you have to fight? Do you want to believe that? And if not, then what do you want to believe in? What do you want to believe about life? And for me, I realized I don't want to live with this reality that life is hard. I don't want to live in this mindset that I have to keep fighting, to push through, to make it through, to just be in this fighter mentality. And actually, when we go to a deeper level now, what are we fighting against? Because when life is abundance, and when everything that we experience is divine, is abundance, and when we actually are abundance, what are we fighting for? What are we fighting against? So many of us are actually fighting against abundance, love, because we cannot accept that there is so much good, that there is so much love, that we are inherently abundant just by nature. And it doesn't depend on money we have. It doesn't depend on relationships, on other circumstances. It just depends on our belief, what we believe is true. And so, do you want to believe that life is abundance, that your life is abundance, that you are abundant already? And if yes, you can make the decision now in this moment to truly believe that your life is abundance and that you are already abundant. And you don't need to fight against life. You don't need to fight against any circumstance, because what happens if you fight against it, it will be a fight, and actually it will make it worse than if you just accept any circumstance of your life as being a part of your life, and this circumstance will pass, it will change again, it will never stay. But your divine nature, your true nature, your abundant nature stays. And that's the state of being you can return to again and again. So I just wanted to share this with you, because I feel so many of us are so conditioned to believe that life is hard, when actually life isn't hard. It's just what we believe that life is, and that we can choose again. What do we want to believe in? What do we want to believe about life? So yes, thank you for being here. I'm sending you so much love.